What's up, Dallas Cowboy Nation? It's your boy G from Jersey with the Quest for Six podcast. Man, what a thrilling victory last night, 24-21. Dallas coming back from being 21 points down in the first quarter, folks. Think about that. It was 21 nothing after the first quarter, and the defense went on to hold Philadelphia to 0 points on their next 8 possessions. That's quite impressive, man. But this video right here, this video that I'm starting the day off with, I'm going to make more posts later, more videos later about the game breakdown and how we have to start getting prepared for Kansas City. This video in particular right here is about Ceedee Lamb, folks. Um, Ceedee Lamb had another couple of drops yesterday against the Philadelphia Eagles, okay? And we saw George Pickens for 140 plus yards yesterday, right? That Dak Prescott have a phenomenal game against the Philadelphia Eagles as well. But there was a lot, and there is a lot of chatter on Twitter about CeeDee Lamb's drops. A lot of fans unhappy with CeeDee Lamb's play recently. But folks, I want to caution this: don't ruin a good thing, right? We have a really good thing right now because we have two number one receivers on the same football team. Not a lot of teams in the NFL have that luxury, okay? We, as Dallas Cowboys fans, asked for another quality wide receiver for several years, and we finally got one in George Pickens. And now that George Pickens is having a great season, and I'll get to why potentially he's having such a good season in a little bit, right? Now that George Pickens is having such a phenomenal season, uh, CD is his production is down, right, compared to what we're used to. Now we're throwing dirt on top of CD Lamb's back and we're kicking him while he's down. And I say, folks, listen, CD Lamb is still a number one receiver in the NFL. He still is the Dallas Cowboys number one receiver, okay? CeeDee Lamb currently on the season, he has 632 yards for 2 touchdowns, okay? George Pickens has over 1,000 yards, right? And 3 times the amount of touchdowns. But check this out. Still projected with 6 games left on the year, CeeDee Lamb is projected to have 977 yards on the season. That'll be over 1,000 yards for CeeDee Lamb by the end of the season. Okay, so during the next 6 games, CeeDee Lamb will get to over 1,000 yards. All right, now let's focus on George Pickens, right, and his production. George Pickens has never had a wide receiver opposite of him like CeeDee Lamb, okay? And you can kind of see how defenses are still shifting their coverage to CeeDee Lamb. And I'm not taking anything away from George Pickens. George Pickens is an absolute monster of a wide receiver, okay? But when you look at it analytically, football wise, what defenses are throwing out there, they are shifting coverage towards CeeDee Lamb, still allowing George Pickens these opportunities. Okay, you saw yesterday early on the game Dak Prescott trying to feed CeeDee Lamb. Okay, and CeeDee Lamb is probably going through something mentally right now where he's not 100% trusting his ability and trusting his skills. Okay, but when we look at CeeDee Lamb and what he's done in the past, CeeDee Lamb has been phenomenal for the Dallas Cowboys. All right, when you look at his previous seasons, you're talking about 935 yards as a rookie, followed up by 1,100 yards, followed up by 1,350 yards, 1,750 yards in 2023, folks. Last year, minus Dak Prescott, 1,200 yards, okay? And again, this year on pace for over 1,000 yards again. We don't want to break up a good thing, and we see how when you have success with two dominant players or two dominant singers, there tends to be comments coming in from the outside, and that ultimately leads to conflict amongst the group, amongst the duo, where one of them is seeking to get from underneath the other one's wing or separate themselves so they can show their talent, they can show their eliteness. I'm not saying that CeeDee Lamb is not going through a bad stretch right now as far as drops, but we cannot kick our own guy down, right? This is a good problem to have, and CeeDee Lamb will get it together. He will fix himself. Instead of dragging him down, let's lift Ceedee Lamb up because in order to get to where the Dallas Cowboys want to ultimately get to, that NFC championship, right? That Super Bowl, Ceedee Lamb needs to be a part of this franchise, okay? George Pickens needs to be a part of the franchise. They both need to be a part of the plan. Why are we making the comments on Twitter, saying the stuff out loud? These guys hear that. We don't want to cause separation, folks. That's it. I'll see you in a little bit to break down this football game, okay? Go Cowboys.